All right, hi everyone. Welcome to another edition of 10 Minutes with JPIDS. I'm your editor-in-chief, Ravi Javeri, and I'm really excited to be joined by two members of our editorial team, our deputy editor, Andy Shane. Hi, Andy.
Right.
And our journal cover art editor, Annabelle DeSimaris. Hi, Annabelle.
Hi.
As you might imagine, we are going to talk about our cover art, which I think is really unique aspect of the journal. And so before we dive into that, our listeners know that I start every podcast episode with the same question, which is that I'm a superhero nerd, and every superhero has their origin story. If each of you could share your PEDS ID origin story. Andy, we'll start with you, and I think I actually know part of your origin story. So, because I,
Okay.
I I appear in one small piece of it. So, go ahead.
Oh, okay, great. Well, my true origin
True origin
story
story.
is that I thought I was actually going to be a veterinarian. I loved animals. My father is a veterinarian, and he specializes in chickens, so populations of ill animals. And I really thought that I was going to do veterinary medicine. And then I worked in a veterinary clinic and unfortunately acquired Giardia. And so that was the beginning of my love for pediatric infectious disease. I also am under 5 feet, so in height, and on a good day. And so it was clear that I was going into pediatrics. And I just loved the fascination of infectious disease, that it encompassed everything about a patient, both their clinical, social, environmental aspects. And I love the variety of different ages. It reminded me of different species of animals, and also interacting with parents is very similar to a veterinarian interacting with clients. So I was destined to be PEDS ID from the beginning.
L- Love it. And so, for those listeners that are wondering, like, why I interjected myself into the story, when I was an intern, Andy rotated
Oh,
where I was a resident as a medical student, and that's when I first met her so many years ago. So, thought that was part of the journey
yeah,
somewhere in the middle. So,
yes.
um, Annabelle, what about you?
So I also wanted to be a veterinarian, but or a marine biologist, and I got seasick once at a marine biology camp, so decided I can't do that. But yeah, I think it was when I was a medical student and rotating and saw a patient with Neisseria meningitis, and I remember hearing the story about the ED physician seeing that patient with purpura on their legs and then giving ceftriaxone immediately. And so hearing about how much there was that we could do to prevent and treat infectious diseases and seeing kids actually get better. Unfortunately, my height did not help me in working in pediatrics, but I always appreciated seeing kids just bounce back so quickly and having the opportunity to prevent infectious diseases through vaccines. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for sharing that, both of you. Andy, we're going to start with you because you were the original cover art editor for JPIDS. So, could you maybe talk about the origins of how JPIDS, when it got started, we landed on the idea of soliciting art in the way that we did?
Yes, thanks, Robbie. So it actually came from an interaction that I had in the hospital with a child and Child Life. And I was so impressed by the way that Child Life was encouraging this patient to draw to help to express their feelings. And they actually ended up drawing a picture of a bacteria. And it was actually really great. And I thought, wow, that would be amazing if we could feature cover art drawn by children about pediatric infectious diseases on our JPIDS covers. And it was at the time that the journal was getting started. So I cold called Theo Zaudis, who was on the soccer field with his sons at the moment, and said, "Hey, I have a great idea." And Theo loved it, and that's how it was born.
Love it. So, I love the idea of taking the initiative. So, Annabelle, when you look at the submissions, what in your mind makes a good cover? What are you looking for?
So I'm looking for something with a bold picture
and a lot of color to it, and then also just some passion and creativity. So I like my favorite pictures are ones like what Andy described, where, it's a patient with a specific experience around a disease or something that they're passionate about, and they express that through art.
I love it. So, can you walk us through how people can submit art for consideration? What is the process?
So what Very simple. What they have to do is take a high resolution picture of the image and send it to me in the JPIDS office. And once they submit it by email, I'll send you a series of questions. And that's just around what inspired the piece, the name of the artist, and um, where it was created and the media that were used, and then we accept it and we make sure there's permission from the parent for the piece being published, and then we're good to go.
And can you remind me, we have a cover archive on the website, but do we have a specific site for the covers to reach out?
To reach out, we do have a JPIDS cover submission website.
Okay. Um, and then this is for both of you. What advice would you offer colleagues as they solicit submissions for JPITS covers?
So I think probably a great source is Child Life, and in many hospitals. Also, knowing your faculty and knowing if they have children who may be artists, and sometimes reaching out to them directly and asking them if they have favorite pictures or favorite pathogens is another way of thinking about it. And Annabelle can speak more about this, but we've had a lot of success with international submissions as well. And so reaching out at meetings and offering the opportunity to provide cover art has been great.
Yeah,
Annabelle?
the only thing I'll add is also if you have a child life team, talking to them. I think, as Andy mentioned, a lot of these kids are in the hospital for a long time, and I think this is a great goal to focus on. And we've seen some kids really um, get very proud when their picture is published, and so I think it's a great therapeutic um, option too.
And have you, this is just off the script question, but have you guys solicited art like while on rounds? Have you specifically approached patients about submitting?
Yes, and actually that was the first, well, we didn't have the submission process, but the inspiration was seeing this child who was using the art for therapy. And so I haven't directly seen anyone recently, but certainly if I did, I would encourage them very strongly to submit and let Annabelle know.
Yeah. What about you, Annabelle?
Yeah, I've had some patients who I see them coloring or doodling in their room, and I'll ask them if they want to create something. But honestly, some of my favorite ones are, people who have submitted because they had a patient who was literally drawing something vaguely science related.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. All right. So this is open to both of you. Is there anything else you wanted to mention about the covers?
So I actually had somebody who was a physician who was very excited that their child's art was featured, and actually mentioned that their child had a cover manuscript or cover publication before they did, and was slightly jealous. So, I think there can be a little bit of competition that can help to encourage art in families as well.
What about you,
Yeah, I
Annabelle?
think Um, there's some great stories where I started sending parents after their child's art has been published a copy of the cover, and I just love hearing the feedback. They'll say it really brightened their day, or there have been stories where some of the kids have been really sick, or there was one child who unfortunately experienced a school shooting, and just having that positive aspect of having something published and seeing their name attached to it, I think is really important for kids. Plus, it's promoting science. So some of the favorite ones I've seen were during the COVID pandemic, all of this work with kids sending us pictures of the importance of collaboration and working together to fix the pandemic
Yeah.
was really
And I,
uplifting.
and I should have followed up on this before, but can you tell us a little bit more about how some of the global submissions have come in? What prompted those?
Uh, During the pandemic, I shared some social media posts, and then I think Andy's done a really great job of working with SFID and other international pediatric infectious disease organizations. So I've had submissions from Libya, from UK, from Australia and New Zealand, Canada, and other countries. Can't name them all, but where we've had kids submit pictures. And so I've also been trying to get physicians who work abroad to get some of their patients to submit as well. So we love international submissions and highly encourage them.
All right. So we're always on the lookout for new submissions. So certainly as you all are on rounds, think about the patients you're seeing and if they're maybe interested in being approached. Certainly coordinate with your child life teams about patients we have there. And certainly your own children, like you said, there's lots of talent in our field, budding talent. All right, Andy and Annabelle, thank you so much for joining us and um, talking about our very unique cover art submissions.
Thanks, Ravi. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, and listeners, thanks so much for joining, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the next episode. Take care.
Thanks.